Devontae Brown writes, what things ruined the Matrix sequels in most people's eyes, and what things were good about them?
The movies ruined them.
The rave scene, number one.
Yeah.
I mean, that was terrible. I remember watching it. I'm like, what is it? Are we watching the right movie? Because they're making something else. Colonel Sanders. That scene when Colonel Sanders.
I didn't mind.
I thought terrible.
I thought that could have been the Keymaster. I thought that could have been
the architect.
Yeah, the architect. The architect. I thought that was the execution. Everything, the writing of it was just done so poorly because I actually thought that could have been cool.
Well, the idea of it is fine.
That's what I meant. I meant there's so many great ideas that the execution was just done poorly because I thought the twins were awesome characters.
The twins were great.
But they just kind of...
No, but I mean, the idea for the two Matrix sequels, the concept is great. Same with the prequels for the Star Wars. It's the execution that matters, and it was just terrible.
Monica Bellucci.
I'm one of the few people... Oh, Monica Bellucci. Anyway. Yes. I'm one of the few... part of my mind has gone off to another place. Right. Anyway, I'm actually one of the few people who I enjoyed the second Matrix. I did. I love the twins, that epic car chase thing where they built like they couldn't find a highway to shoot on, so they built a 3-mile highway and did all their own stuff. I actually appreciated it. I didn't like it as much as the first one, and then even in all of my enthusiasm, I couldn't get myself into the third one at all.
That was the problem for me, was that the second one I said, okay, if the third one really delivers, then the second one could make a little bit more sense, and then I could go back and revisit the second one and say, this really is something great the way it's playing into this trilogy, but the third one was so bad that it, to me, diminished what the second one was even trying to do. And then I just said, maybe it just didn't. That is the definition. I had this whole thing on Twitter about what a cash grab is, and someone said everything's a cash grab. That's not true. When movies are,
I believe it is, but anyway.
All right, that's another conversation. but in regards to this movie, to me, the 2 and 3 were about ching 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 and just ching ching ching, and not really developing the greatness and the effort and time that was put into the first one.
You know what? I think the problem was actually a little bit opposite, because when I watched the first film, and I'd like to know your impressions of this. What I see is like very cool imaginative sci-fi, right? Yeah. With a little bit of elements of, pondering the human predicament and asking real existential questions and things like that. But it was, at its core, was a sci-fi film, right? And a really good one at that. What I found was that the filmmakers almost got a little bit, the brothers got a little bit into themselves. And as we moved further away from the original film, they got further and further away from making cool sci-fi to making, let's make everything this psychotropic kind of study about the multiple layers of reality and blend. Right. They started getting more and more into that area, and it's like, you aren't doing this right. You aren't doing this well. And for me, it kind of fell apart at that point. It seemed like they bought into their own dime.
I don't know what the cave rave has anything to do with any of that stuff.
I agree with that point as far as the Wachowskis went, because they probably in the writing, but you also, let's not forget about the studio at that point and the producers, to where they're going, no, more. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make it bigger. Let's do it.
See, I didn't mind the cave rave so much, except I remember watching the cave rave and thinking, so everybody in Zion is just barely over drinking age, and they say like suddenly everybody in Zion was 21 years old.
The animation they did beforehand was awesome.
Oh, that was pretty great.
What, the Animatrix?
Yeah, the Animatrix. I wish that they would have continued with those
types
of
cool.
stories.
It was all really different types of animation and different stories.
Yeah, and it played into actual canon.
I like that much better than the next two movies.
Hey everyone, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.